Hello friends, welcome to Unique Designers India. This is our second class in our YouTube tutorial videos for Aari embroidery. Already in the previous class I've taught you how to do the chain stitch and how to use the needles and everything. And today we are going to see about how to make the end knot for chain stitch. Let us start from here. While you're practicing knot works, you can just make few stitches, just 4 or 5 stitches and one knot. You can do like that. Now we're making a few chain stitches. And when you are planning to finish the work, that is, you are going to make a knot, means just pull out the thread a little bigger loop like this, and then again put the needle very close to the previous chain stitch, and again take the second loop also outside. So the two loops will be a little loose condition, it will not be very tight. Now you have to turn the needle to the back side. Can you see? I'm turning it from, actually the needle's hook is facing me. Now I'm turning it to the back side and hold the first loop zari like this. Hold it like this and pull it upwards tight, and then pull the thread which is downside under the frame, and then you will get a knot at this point. I'll repeat. Make a few stitches. And now when you're going to finish the stitch, just pull out the zari a little longer and again take the needle back to the end of the stitch and put the needle inside the cloth and take out the second loop also. It will be a little loose. Both the loops will be a little looser. Don't take the needle out of the loops. It is still inside the loop. Now turn the needle to back side. You can see the hook. I'm turning it to the back side and hold the previous thread from the downside like this and pull it upwards tight. And then now you have to pull the thread which is under the cloth, and you will get the knot in this point. You will get a little bigger loop like this. It's not a big issue. You can just cut it out. And there's another one method. I will show that also. No, not another method. It's the same method, but in a different way. Doing the same thing in a different way. Let us not pull both the loops outside. Just turn the needle to the back side. Turn the hook to the back side and hold the previous chain stitch just from the cloth. Like this you can hold it. I generally don't do this kind of knot, so I'm not getting it properly, but just for your knowledge I'm telling you. Hold the previous zari like this and pull the thread downwards. Make it a little longer and just turn the needle, pull the previous thread and hold it, then again pull the thread from the downside of the cloth. You will get the knot. Same way you can practice repeatedly. Only for chain stitch you have to make long chain lines and then have practice. But for knots you can just make few stitches, only 4 or 5 stitches, and practice the knot. This is better, like both the loops little loose and then turning the needle to the back side and holding it like this and pulling it down. Okay, now I'll tell you another thing also. We have to practice with, I will teach you the sharpness also today. In previous class I told you to make just straight lines and curved lines only. And while making sharpness, you will have to notice a small step. That's why I'll teach you today about how to make this sharpness. For making shapes, you have to use this. When you're making a knot like this, you don't have to cut the zari every time and again roll it around your finger, and don't do that. Just from here you can bring the zari till here. Starting from here. I think you must have practiced a little with directions also. Now I'm taking the needle to the reverse direction and you can see the hook that is facing on the opposite side. Now we are reaching the corner and we're going to make a sharpness here. Just tighten the thread like this. While tightening the thread, don't use the tip of the needle. Just put the needle inside the loop a little longer and then pull it. Otherwise the needle will get broken. Now turn the needle to this side and very close to the previous chain stitch, very close to it, make another very small stitch, and this is called the lock. Generally this locking stitch is used to avoid the previous chain from coming upwards. After making the lock, just make another line of chain stitch. Lock and knot are different. Lock is just to hold the, it is just another chain stitch, very small chain stitch to hold the previous chain, but knot is the end knot. So we'll be using this locking stitch in many other places. So whenever I tell a lock, it is a very small chain stitch, very close to the previous chain stitch. I'll repeat it again. I'll tell you like what will happen if you don't do this lock portion. Really we make that mistake without making the lock. If we turn the chain stitches, I'll tell you what will happen. See, we are going to the tip, and without making a lock, if you make another normal chain stitch like this, while in the beginning it will be looking very sharp only, but after you remove the cloth from the frame, this portion will come out like this and the shape will go off. For this, to avoid this only, we are making a lock which will hold this zari from coming up. Make it tight, then put a small lock here, tighten it, and then continue with the stitches of the same size. Hope you could have understood. I'll show the same sharpness in another shape also. In this tilagam you are having only one sharpness, but in the next shape you will have 2 or 3 sharpness. Make a small shape like this. And in this, let me start from here. And while reaching the tip of the shape, make it tighter, and again a small lock. Hope you understood how to make the sharpness in chain stitches. Practice a lot with this. I'll give you some homework motifs also. You can try with them. Okay, now I'll tell you what all to do for homework. So first you can try with the simple tilagam like this, and then the same shape which I did here. You can try with this shape also. After this you can make some border stitches like this. In this shape you will have both the sharpness and the curves. You can practice both in this, and other sharpness shapes like this V shape or triangle shape. You can even try a lotus. I'll tell you how to do with the lotus. First you'll draw like this. Actually you'll draw a lotus like this only, starting from the center tilagam. Same way you have to start the chain stitches from here, make the sharpness here and come back down here and make a knot. In this point you have to make a knot, and again from here you can take the thread here and start from here, then make the shape of the petals, and again make a knot here. Again take the thread to this point and make the next petal. Again make a knot, then again go here. Same way, it is like how you draw, what are the steps you take to draw the lotus, same way you can do in the chain stitches also. Okay, so try with the lotus, and then you can even try this kind of square shapes. This will also have so many sharp edges, and you can practice with them. Hope this video was useful for you. Thank you all for watching, and keep practicing. Bye.